Hello and welcome back to another walkthrough guide for Maize Plus by the Farming Agency with me, Simulation for the Nation. If you like this kind of thing, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Previously, we have reviewed the CCM extension and also an overview to the Farming Agency and the complete Sharwell Farm update. In today's episode, we're going to review the Maize Plus extension. We'll be taking you through a list of the new fruit types, the process available to these fruit types and what they could be used for, before we wrap up by reviewing the modified machinery available with this extension. So let's get started with our new fruit type. Starting with the new root crops. Maize Plus provides you with two new root crops, carrots and onions. As you can see, carrots have a new texture and will require the tops to be removed prior to harvest. To harvest this crop, you'll be required to purchase a Grimy SL260, a mod that we're going to review in the later section of this video. Similarly, the same can be said for onions, which also have a brand new texture and will require a new harvester. Oxygen David has supplied both of these textures for carrots and onions in Maize Plus extension. There is now rye, triticale and spelt included with the Maize Plus extension. These crops can be treated like regular cereal crops and harvested in the same manner with a regular in-game harvester. As we move on to grasses, this is where we start to see a real huge improvement in the options available to you, the farmer. You can now choose between the regular pasture grass, clover, alfalfa and field grass. Starting with clover, this crop has a brand new texture supplied by Martin Big M500. You can now mow clover down like any regular grass, and bale used in the machine will review at the end of the video. Field grass is another new fruit type, and I particularly like field grass as it provides you with the option to harvest grass seeds as well as the fodder. For instance, I could either mow this grass down like you see in the video here and bale and wrap for silage, or alternatively, I can harvest the grass seeds before baling the grass. And just look at the textures, they are incredible for field grass. Moving on to alfalfa now, this stunning crop will provide a beautiful shade of purple across your map. This is also another brilliant texture by Oxygen David that really sets this crop apart from the rest. Alfalfa is to be mowed like any other grass in game and can be baled using the specific machinery we'll see later on. So now it's time for us to look at the underlying principle behind the Maize Plus extension. The Maize Plus extension allows you to have up to 4 possible silage types in bunker silos and or bales for feed into your livestock. This is possible with helps to the CCM extension that we reviewed in the previous video. To help us understand and have a look at those 4 types of silage, I've got them in the raw format before fermentation in front of us here. The first one in front of us is the raw CCM. This is the ground up grain from a harvest of maize before fermentation. As we move along to the next one, this is fresh maize. This has been put through a forage harvester from a maize field and is ready to be clamped. We've got our grass silage here, same thing applies. It's been swapped in the field and collected by a forage harvester. And then we have our whole crop or chaff, which becomes WCS, whole crop silage, next to it as well. Now, one of the great things about any of the bunkers silos on the map or on any Farming Agency updated map is the potential to change the different type of silage we have in the bunker when there is less than 4,000 liters in that bunker. Now, what I mean by this is if this silage clamp in front of us, if this was one of the registered silos, if this had 3,999 liters of our let's just go for argument's sake of our maize silage, and we went and tipped a whole load of grass silage on top of it, it would change the content of that silo to grass silage and vice versa. However, if there is more than 4,000 liters, it cannot be changed. And why 4,000 liters, you hear me ask? Well, one of the main reasons is that you can put all of these into a bale format if you wanted to. And when I say I really do mean the whole crop silage, the grass silage and the maize silage can all be baled up and wrapped up and served that way to your livestock. What we're going to do right now is we're going to remove and clear the tip area right in front of us here, and then we're going to bring this back and show you what these 4 material types look like when they are fermented. And so here we are. This is all of the fermented. So we look again, this is CCM or corn cob mix now that it has been fermented in a silo. That looks very similar. Moving along, we have our maize silage, which has changed textures completely. We move along again, and you can see that we are now into our grass silage. And finally, and I did run out of space a little bit here, this is our whole crop silage in the corner there as well. So how is all of this possible? Well, what the farming agency have done is increase the number of height types, as it is known in game, to allow for the additional fruit types to be in game. We have now over doubled that number, so it gives a whole lot of opportunities for new fruit types there to be included, and we are almost at the point of completely filling up that number as well there right now. So it just shows the full extent of the variety of crop types available to be used. Now all of these can be used if you click on your seasons menu. You can come on and look at the animals here. So if we have a look at, let's say, the large cow pasture, you can see the different types of silage available to be fed to your animals now, whereas it used to just be hay, grass, straw, and TMR or silage. You can now see that we have grass, fresh maize, and grass silage. You have WCS, alfalfa, and maize silage, and you've got hay, clover, alfalfa, hay, and hay pellets, and then your TMR. So a whole variety of different options there that you can feed through. If we have a look at that, applies across all of our cattle pens. You look at our sheep as well, it does give you that other little bit of an option there too. So, and even being able to feed your sugar beet and your carrots to your sheep, which is pretty cool. We look at our pigs as well. Now, for those of you who saw the other video, we did feed the pigs a little CCM when they were up and running in the previous video there, but they've eaten it all already, so they're gonna need some more pretty quickly. If you look at your look at the hens as well, they could also use the CCM, which is great to see. So it really does improve the number of options that you have available for yourself. And with that, folks, that is the underlying principle really of the Maize Plus extension covered. We're going to move on right now though and check out the machinery available for you to use on the selected maps. And finally, we're going to review the machinery that is compatible with all of the extensions available from the farming agency. First of all, when we look at DLCs, all of the recent DLCs will be compatible. Some of the Anderson equipment, the bale wrappers within the Anderson equipment DLC will not be available, but the entire class DLC and Caverland DLC will work fully with the extensions. Additionally, so will the straw add-on. So if you do have that downloaded and installed, you will be able to use all those balers with these aforementioned crop types. When we look in-game though, when we want to have a look at some of the in-game vanilla mods that have been modified, we're going to start by looking at mowers. They have provided the big M with the mower conditioner script. Now, as we mentioned in our green mowing video and introduction, the mower conditioner actually facilitates the drying stage, so you no longer have to use a tether for one of those 4 stages, and it speeds up the drying process. So we have that available in-game on PC right now. As we move into the mowers as well, the same can be said for the in-game mowers. As you scroll right along to the end here, you'll see that the Pottinger NovaCat series they are both actually mower conditioners. We just don't have the label on the Butterfly X8 ED, and also the disc bind is also a mower conditioner there. And the same can be said for the Feller Pack as well by Vertex Design. That will be fully compatible with the forage extensions. When it comes to baling and wrapping, of course, we've been looking at a lot of grasses today that we need to wrap up there. So you come into the baling technology, you will see that we have the in-game modifications for the Kuhn bale wrapper and bale wrapper combination. They've been adapted so they're able to bale clover and alfalfa, which is fantastic to see there. And they are fully functional and yeah, every bit as good as the base in game, just with that additional crop capability. Moving along, we have seen in the video of harvesting root crops, carrots and onions in particular, that you do need to use the potato technology, but it is the Grimmy SE260, but with a little bit of a difference here. They've been modified, as you can see, to be able to hold and function and harvest carrots and onions respectively. So you will need to buy one for each different crop type at this moment here, but they work in exactly the same manner as the in-game do as well. But we've really been able to facilitate the use of all of the in-game equipment, allowing you to be able to harvest everything as you'd expect to without any issues moving forward. Hopefully, as well as we progress with more DLCs down the line, this will continue to be a trend whereby they will all be compatible with the farming agency's extensions, so really won't hinder you in any way. And that's it. that is the end of this summary for the Maize Plus extension. We've still got to come. We're going to be looking into the horse extension in a little bit more detail, and we are also going to be looking into the Maize Plus forage extension, which adds another level once again. So I hope you have enjoyed this. If you haven't, if you have to do so, do make sure that you hit that like button. Also make sure that you go and check out the Farming Agency on Facebook. Links are in the description down below. I have been Simulation for the Nation. Thank you ever so much for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.